Introduction to Custom Agents in Visual Studio Code. Custom agents in Visual Studio Code are simply a set of instructions that are defined by you, the user, informing the AI agent exactly what you want it to do. Custom agents in VS Code end in the extension .agents. Custom agents should not be confused with chat modes. Well, chat modes is what custom agents used to be called. They've now been deprecated, but chat mode is no longer used in VS Code. Agent mode. Now, agent mode is what you see when you go to your agents, and I can demonstrate that for you. If you go down to notice here where this is how you get to your agents in GitHub Copilot. I just click on that here, and now I've come into my GitHub Copilot. And if I click on this, I am currently on Ask. If I go to Agent, I am now into the built-in agent modes, and I can select whatever AI model I want to use. Here I've got Gemini 3 Pro, very good indeed. I'm getting this because I've got the professional version of GitHub Copilot, so you might not have that if you've just got the free version. And you can type in whatever you want the agent to do there. This is not what I'm talking about. Those ones are built in, okay? So we all have that. Then, of course, there is the GitHub Copilot coding agents. Now, they run in the cloud. If you've got a GitHub account, and again, that's relatively new, you don't have to be on your PC or your Mac now to run agents. You can go into the GitHub cloud and you can assign an issue to an agent. I'm not going to deal with that now, but they're three different things. And I want to differentiate them because there's so much that Visual Studio Code has brought out in the last few months, it can get confusing. So custom agents are different from chat mode, they're different from the agent mode, and they're different from the GitHub Copilot coding agents. The custom agents that I'm talking about, and let's just close that to give us some more space. The custom agents that I am talking about will either be in your workspace or in your profile. Now, just to quickly demo again here, if you wanted to create a custom agent, if I went into this chat mode again, and you see that little icon up there, and I click on that there, and I'm going to say custom agents and create new custom agent. And now you can see I can either create one inside my .github agents folder, and if I put it there, it will be available to all the projects I'm doing within this workspace. Or I could put it into my user data. In that case, it will be available to all of my projects, even ones in different folders. I'm going to use the one inside the agents folder, the .github agents folder, because you'll be able to see that one. So those are the two places where your custom agents go. So let's take a look at one. Let me close this down again to give us more space. I'm going to take a look at one that I had created earlier on. So let's come into here, and I'm going to come into my agents folder, and inside my agents folder, so notice here I've got .github, and inside .github I've got an agents folder, and inside the agents folder is where I've got one of the agents I've already created. I'm going to click on that to open it, and here we are. I'm now looking at it in code view so you can see the whole code. I'm going to give you a reference to the custom agents on the Visual Studio Code. So you will see all the things that go in the header part of it. There's always two parts. You've got the header and you've got the body. The header is created with YAML. That's how you do the formatting of it. And there are certain fields that you can put here. I've used 3 fields here. So in this case, my agent is going to review code for quality and adherence to best practices. And I've given it the name Code Reviewer, and I've assigned it some tools. Okay, so it's going to be able to edit, to search, and to use a context 7. Now, context 7 is an MCP, Model Context Protocol. I'll do another video on that if you don't know about model content protocols, but if you've downloaded some of them, you can also use those in your agent. And I will leave this open so you can scroll through it and see what it's going to do. But in effect, all this agent is going to do, it is going to review code that has already been generated. Very, very important that you always review your code, and it will give me a feedback on it. Once you have made your agent and you saved it there, now you can either make it manually or you could go through, as I showed you just a few moments ago. Let me just close this for more space. You could go through your chat and you could click on this little icon here, configure, custom agents, and then you could say create new agent, and it will give you the basics. If you do that, it will give you the basic outline of your custom agent. But I'm going to give you a reference where you can go and get many agents that have already been made for you, or you can even ask AI to build your own agent for you. Okay. So let's just come back into my files. I'm going to close this down just for now. So here is my agent that has been made. So here is a HTML file which I've already built, and it's a countdown. And let's see if I can show you this in the browser. I'm going to open it in the browser, and here you are. Here is the countdown file, and how this works is that I can simply type in my name here, and I'm going to enter a number, let's say number 5, and start countdown, and it starts counting down from 5 all the way to the end. And when it gets to the end, it greets me by name and says that has now finished. Okay, so there's my script. It was written for me by AI. So I want to check whether it's actually working well. Now you can see at the top of my script there, it's got some CSS, it's got some HTML, and at the bottom it's got some JavaScript. Now, if I had a much larger script or several of them and I wanted to check them, here is where my agent would come in. So here's what I'm going to do. Let's make some more space here. I am going to go to my Copilot, and I am going to click on my drop down box here, and notice the custom agents you have made will appear here. Their name will appear inside there. So don't confuse them with the built-in agents, okay? And that plan is actually a custom agent, but it's been built in. It comes by default if you've got the latest version of Visual Studio Code. So here is my code reviewer that I just showed you now. And when I click on that, I am now going to say review the page, and if you put a hash, you can actually select the page you wanted to review. That's what I wanted to do. Let's go and see. And I click run, and it goes off and it starts its work. Now I can make this larger by clicking this little icon here, and now it brings everything up here so I can see much more. So it's diving into it, it's taking a look at everything that's going on. Now it shows you its thinking process, so you can see how it's thinking and everything that is going on. And this shouldn't take too long because I've chosen a very small file. And in the feedback now that it's given me, let's see what it comes out. So under good, code review, good, and all of these ones, it says that they're good. Warning, accessibility, screen reader. The countdown updates dynamically, but the screen readers may not announce these changes. Recommended, add, and it's asking me some things to recommend to add to it, which I could get AI to do for me. And then for the info, important, hidden is generally discouraged. So it's now questioning some of the CSS and asking how that can be changed. And would you like to have the findings? Would you like me to save these findings? If so, please provide the file name. Very good. Now, in my code reviewer, I specifically asked it not to make any changes to the code, but I have tweaked this a bit, my custom agent, so that it asks me to resave the file. So I can now save that to somewhere, and I've asked it to ask for a name. So I'm going to say yes. Save to review hyphen count down dot. I can't spell, can I? Countdown.md. So I've asked it to save it into review countdown.md, and it's generating the file and it's writing the content to the file. So that's how I had written my custom agent, and I'll leave a copy of my custom agent inside the description so you can take a look at it. It's asking me, do I want to keep it? Yes, keep. And now I want to come out of my chat, so that little icon there again, I can click it there. By the way, I was using Gemini 3.0 Pro, very good, because you can assign any agent you want, but 3.0 Pro is a very good large language model. As you know, it's the latest one released by Google and highly recommended. Obviously, if you've got the free version of GitHub Copilot, you might not have that one. Okay, let's see the file it has created for me then. Let's come into my files, and there it is. There's the file it's created. Let's close that down to get some more space. Close that down to get some more space, and here it is. And now I could pass this on to an AI agent to help me make the changes. Thank you very much. That's an introduction to custom agents. I hope it's helped clear up a lot of confusion. If you've enjoyed that, please like and subscribe, and I'll create another video later.